All right, how are we? Looks like we got a crew already piped in here. See, I saw someone MVP saying that there's a Band of Brothers Discord. I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't know what a Discord is. I'm kind of interested. Sounds interesting though. Um, yeah, got a few more coming in here. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Um, it is raining like a son of a gun here at my house, so hopefully the rain noise on my roof isn't too bad. I have a metal roof, so whenever it rains, it's really nice for sleeping, but it might be a little bit loud up here. So hopefully that's not the case. I'm going to do my best to kind of keep up with the comments and things like that. Okay, a Discord server, place to do chat and voice chat if folks want. Oh, okay, yeah, sounds kind of interesting. So that you guys watched episodes 3 and 4 of Band of Brothers this evening. That's yeah, those are some good ones. Probably my favorite, if we're talking Band of Brothers. My favorite series, or I'm sorry, my favorite episodes from that series would be the ones from Bastogne. Those are pretty impactful. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, from Kearney, Missouri, Southeast Missouri. V-Track, hello, Mr. Underground. Like your videos, thank you, appreciate that. It's been a joy to share it. Channel has really grown quite a bit more than I ever anticipated. Good day from Australia. Very nice. I wanted to do this in the evening. Typically, I'll try and alternate like morning, evening, at least with the Patreon chats. But yeah, if anybody's moved, oh, here, somebody from Liverpool, England. Holy smokes. What time is it in Liverpool right now? It's probably crud, like 3 a.m. Holy smokes. Thanks for jumping in here. That's awesome. Got Warm Springs, Georgia. I loved Warm Springs whenever I was there. That was such a cool town. If you ever have a chance to go, I'm gonna make a few adjustments here. If you ever have a chance to go to Warm Springs and see FDR's like summer home there at the little White House, man, that is pretty cool. And you can see that video. Let's see, we got some coming in from Georgia, Florida, Rocky Top. Virginia. I'm wanting to get out to Virginia at some point and really spend a lot of time. I mean, my gosh, you could probably spend a month in Virginia and not get to everything, but there are a lot of like battlefields and different things like that I would really like to hit there. And I'm wanting to, in one of the videos I mentioned that I'm wanting to hit like a bunch of different presidential and Virginia, I could knock out a bunch there. So yeah, I definitely want to get to Virginia. Washington State, that's another one that I'm really wanting to get to. I had some people comment after the first video that I posted from Maine, where I go to the World War II bunkers, saying that along the coastline there, they kind of gave me a heads up of some places there in Washington and Oregon and California. All right, let's see. Mr. Argent, I think I said that right. Hey, JD, is it possible to get an update on Camp Toccoa? Yeah. So I was planning on, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do like a little video update, just talking about what has happened in the past week. Holy smokes, it has been crazy since I posted that video from Toccoa at Currahee. So for those of you that didn't see that video, I posted a video. When was it? Maybe Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. So less than a week ago, that showed a lot of just graffiti and vandalism and all kinds of horrible things there at Currahee, where the guys from Band of Brothers, Easy Company, and all the other men that trained with the parachute infantry regiments during World War II went up and down. This is a place that, in my mind, should be a monument, and to hike to the top of it and then to see what has happened to it is pretty disappointing. As a matter of fact, while I was there, I didn't mention this in the video that I posted, but while I was there was a family that came up the mountain. You can drive up there, of course, but they were from Florida. They get out of their car. The first thing they talk about is, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" They're not talking about the view. They're not talking about Dick Winters and Band of Brothers. They're talking about the graffiti. They left. I filmed that little video piece there. And then as I was wrapping up, there was another car that came up. This was two brothers. They were probably in their 50s, I would guess, that were coming down from New York. They had driven all the way down from New York, and this was the one place that they really wanted to see. And they got out and they said the same thing. I won't say what they said, but it was a rather colorful metaphor to describe what they were seeing there. And what I showed just in that one spot is only a fraction of the graffiti and the damage up there. I mean, it is absolutely horrible. Again, holy cow, there's a lot of comments here. If I don't get to your comment, man, I really apologize. Okay, so here's an update of what has happened in the past week regarding Toccoa and Currahee. Apparently that video has really made the rounds. And I've had responses from all over the world, people saying, "Hey, if you schedule something, I want to come help." I had people from Australia, people from England, people from the Netherlands, all saying, "Hey, I'll get on a plane, if you can travel, and I'll come and spend a day helping clean up." So that was really something. I do know that it has really, from my understanding, caused a stir in the Toccoa area and kind of that North Georgia area. There's a lot of city council members, a lot of politicians that have been notified. There was a lady who sent me a video, and she was walking up Currahee, and she was saying, "Hey, thank you for this video. Thank you for bringing attention to it." She said that just this week they've gone in and they've fixed the road up, and she ran into a game warden up there. If I got the story right, ran into a game warden up there, and he said, "Yeah, there was some guy who posted a video showing all of the graffiti up there, and the response, I guess, has been crazy. So they're going to try and up their presence in there and patrolling and things like that." So I think it's having a little bit of an effect. I'll kind of try and wrap up my story here so that I can address the comments. As far as organizing any kind of get together or cleanup, somebody sent me, they connected me with a group called the Currahee Cleanup Project, I believe. So there's already something that's a little bit established. They have a connection with the U.S. Forest Service. Currahee is on U.S. Forest Service ground. So I got a message from the Georgia DNR that said, "Please clarify that this is not Georgia state land. This is federal government land," because they were apparently getting inundated with emails and phone calls and things like that. But anyway, so sorry to the Georgia DNR. Anyway, I'm coordinating with the Currahee Cleanup Project now. I think they actually went there today and did just a little bit of cleanup. Apparently there's just tons of trash on that mountain too. Okay, it's not just the graffiti. It has become a dumping ground. And I know that George Smith, who was in the Camp Toccoa video, every week he takes a trip up on his side-by-side and fills up bags of trash. It's insane. So anyway, we're looking at scheduling a graffiti cleanup day in the spring, probably March is what we're looking at. This stuff costs a lot of money because it's on government ground. You can't just use anything to clean up the graffiti, you have to use a specific environmentally safe thing called elephant snot. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's not harmful to the environment. And I guess that cost a lot of money as well. And plus, they're needing equipment. There's a whole lot of moving parts to this. And I've kind of, I don't know, I feel like I threw a rock at a hornet's nest, but in a good way. So one thing that people can do, I'm seeing people, chiming in from Georgia. So if you are in the 9th congressional district, you have a new U.S. congressman who was just elected. He's a Navy veteran. So be nice whenever you contact them. That might be a good individual to call. Okay, let me kind of address some of the. Again, if I miss your comment, I'm really sorry because I just blabbed for a long time there. Let's see. Somebody from Melbourne. Okay, so I used to say that Melbourne, and then I ran into. I knew a girl from Sydney, and whenever I said Melbourne, she laughed at me and she said it's pronounced Melbourne. Anyway, from Australia, so that's awesome. Says hello from Eastern Kentucky. You're my favorite YouTuber. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's kind of exciting to me to see people kind of getting into history. Let's see. Texas, love all your videos. Thank you. Knoxville, Maryland. I need to get to Maryland and spend some more time. I have not been to the Antietam battlefield. And yeah, I can do a lot of stuff. Let's see. Hello, History Underground, tribe from the Arsenal of Democracy. Anyone know where I'm talking about? I actually don't. You'll have to help me out there. Let's see. Got some Canadian presence on here. Oh, somebody talking about my muddy boots in the background. Yeah, sorry. It's a little bit of a mess up here. But I'm a bit of an outdoorsman. It's kind of where my roots are. Let's see. Oh, wow. Somebody from Poland. Holy smokes. I would love to go to Poland. I've been to Ukraine, and I've been to Germany. I just haven't caught that country in the middle there. Let's see. Hello, fellow history brother. Love the Toccoa video. Carry the weight to earn it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, about a mile in, I was wondering how smart that was, carrying that thing up there. And I had about 30 to 35 pounds in my pack too. And then that bag was about 20 or 25. So I was really questioning my own sanity at that point. Let's see. Watching from Denver, Howard Paul. Excuse me. Approaching the anniversary of the Sand Creek Massacre. Here's a little story. I actually went and did a video at the location of the Sand Creek Massacre. That was early on. And the wind was blowing so horrible there that it blew out my sound and ruined the video, and it never saw the light of day. So I'm going to have to go back there at some point. See, Mark Green, hey, from Tennessee. Work is awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. From Terre Haute, Indiana, home of a Coca-Cola bottling plant and the original that was patented. Cool. I'd like to get back down to Atlanta and do something with Coca-Cola down there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip down here. So again, I apologize if I miss your comment or your question. Maybe just hit me up again. So Michael Ackerman, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. It says, hey JD, working on a reconstruction drawing. Oh, okay. Hey, Michael. Yeah. Of Widerstand S72 while watching this. Awesome. Yeah, dude, we need to go. We need to put something together as soon as this pandemic is over. I was actually doing just a little bit of research today for whenever the day comes that we can go back over there. I left too much unseen. That was the biggest frustration that I had with that series of Normandy videos is all of those videos that you see, I squeezed all of that into 2.5 days. which is not nearly enough time to go to Normandy. I really I wanted to do a whole bunch of things, and I just didn't have enough time. So yeah, I've got to go back. All that to say this. Let's see. Love the video from Maine. Had no idea. So cool. Yeah, seeing those bunkers in Maine. Oh my gosh, that just blew me away. I haven't spent a lot of time on the East Coast, and after I posted that video, I had a lot of people saying, "Hey, there's bunkers here. There's bunkers there." So yeah. Kathleen Brenner, the muddy boots make you a real dude. Ah, thank you. See, Sean Roberts, thanks for the super chat there. Said this guy deserves our support. If you love his videos, please join his Patreon. $5 a month to support history. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. One of the biggest misconceptions that people have is that I do this for a living. That I just have this life where I go and travel around and make history-based YouTube videos. I actually have a full-time job, and I have the supporters on Patreon, which wasn't even my idea. I had people that started sending me messages saying, "Hey, start a Patreon so that we can support what you're doing. We would appreciate it." It was kind of weird to me, the idea that people would want to, donate to what I was doing. I was doing it just to, create a resource for history teachers and history students. But anyway, I set the bar really low there because, if people did donate, I didn't want it to be a financial burden. I appreciate every single dollar that I get on Patreon. So I think there was originally 3 different levels. I think $1, $3, and $5 a month. I figured, hey, for the cost of a cup of coffee, maybe people pitch in. And then I had people sending me messages saying, "Hey, can you create a tier that's even higher? We want to give more." So it's very humbling to me. Yeah, I appreciate it. But whenever I'm making these videos, it's either on vacation or it's on weekends. Like if I have a long weekend, I might try and travel somewhere, or it's just during time that I take off. And yeah, so it's money from Patreon and money that I just make on side jobs to do this. But it's worth it. I'm gonna skip down again. Thanks. I'm under pressure. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm just catching things here and there. Oh wait, let's see. MVP just saw the PayPal address in your about section. Sent $10. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. History geocaching. By chance, are you a veteran or history teacher? I love your stuff. That's another misconception that people have, is that I was in the military, and I wasn't. I'm one of those guys that considered it, but the Lord just had different plans for me. I ended up getting a job as a high school teacher, really before I even graduated college. And so I just kind of, went down that pipeline. But yeah, I am a history teacher, which is why I started the channel to begin with. Let's see. I see a few people commenting about Gettysburg. I have some big plans for Gettysburg. Whenever I do Gettysburg, I hope to do it justice, and I hope to do something that is a little bit different. But that, if everything works out in my head the way that I want it to, Gettysburg is going to be a giant series, because I've had so many people ask me about that. So I guess there's a lot of interest there. Let's see. Let me skip down here. Battle of Palo Duro Canyon. Battle on the Red River War in the 1870s. I'll have to check that out. Jim Cody visited the Medal of Honor Museum in Chattanooga. Amazing place. Is that not one of the coolest museums ever? I hope that a lot of people see that video and go visit them. Those poor people, they put so much into this museum, and it's seriously one of the coolest museums. Like you see in the video, I go into that interactive display. I could legitimately spend a half a day just in that spot. And then, of course, you see the Medal of Honor of Desmond Doss and, so many others there. But those poor people, they opened their museum, and then immediately, I think within weeks, uh, that's when the shutdown occurred, like back in March. So it absolutely just killed their momentum. So I'm trying to, encourage as many people to go there as possible, and support them and support what they're doing. Along with that, I I put out just kind of a general questionnaire just to see if anybody would ever. People from time to time are asking, "Hey, can um, if you're ever in Cincinnati, or if you're ever in Pittsburgh, hit me up," and stuff like that. And of course, if it's a YouTube comment, those get lost pretty quick. So I had the idea, oh, maybe we'll do a group meetup sometime. So I put a thing out on the YouTube community page asking, if would there be any interest. Turns out there was a lot of interest. So I'm kind of holding out to see, where things go, with the pandemic. That's really kind of throwing a monkey wrench in things right now. But right now, I've got something kind of put together, tentatively planned for Chattanooga, and it would be like the Saturday before President's Day. Um, having a group meetup, and I would want to limit it. I think there were 250 people who said yes, they would definitely go. And as humbling as that is, I would want to keep it a little bit smaller, just because, if there's 250 people show up, I would want to be able to talk to everybody. Anyway, I think I'm going to do like a sign up where like 50 people could sign up, and we'll get a charter bus, and we'll go to the Medal of Honor Museum. We'll go do a bunch of other things, and get some barbecue or something like that. But anyway, as that gets closer, I'll post some details. William Bennett, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate that more than you know. Wow. Let's see. Wartime Productions. If you had a time machine, which era would you time travel to? Man, I've always thought that the 20s would be kind of an interesting time, because you're kind of on that hinge of, where things are modern enough to where there's some modern conveniences, but it's not completely primitive. I think in the 1920s, the country was still there. There was some wildness to it, like in the West, that seems like it would be pretty cool to me. But I would want to time travel back before it got to 1929 and the Great Depression hit. And it would also be interesting to see the country mobilizing during World War II. But anyway, yeah. Let's see. Harper's Ferry is a beautiful place if you haven't gone. Oh my gosh, Harper's Ferry is very high on my list. I've never been there before. So that's definitely one place that I want to go. Hello from Southern Ohio. Thanks for all the work you do spreading the American history story. Thank you. Yeah, many who don't realize the importance of knowing our past mistakes and triumphs. And I think that's a good balance. I think that we need to talk about the mistakes that have been made, and we also need to talk about, the triumphs, as you mentioned. That's, I don't know, moderation in everything, and I think that goes with education as well. There's a disturbing trend that I'm seeing in history education where teachers are just wanting to focus on all of the terrible things that have happened in American history. So really, to be blunt, it's like a Howard Zinn version of American history. And yeah, I think that's a bad idea. I think that's potentially destructive. Let's see. Stephen Treichler, retired Navy chief, history buff, Medal of Honor historian. Oh, awesome, very cool. Have you ever thought of musical history, Montgomery, Memphis, Graceland? Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I reached out to Graceland, and they never reached me back. So I haven't been able to put anything together there. But I would like to do that. I was also looking at hitting some spots with Johnny Cash. little bit of bias there. I just like Johnny Cash a lot. So yeah, to answer your question, I do want to hit some musical history stuff. Christopher Reed, you're a Georgia fan. Awesome. Hey, Reed, good seeing you, man. Let's see. Love to see you film the Battle of Little Bighorn. I also have some plans for the Battle of Little Bighorn as well. There are some places that I have intentionally avoided just because I really want to wait and do it right. As a matter of fact, I did that with Missionary Ridge whenever I was down in Chattanooga. I actually filmed a piece on Missionary Ridge during that whole Georgia series that I did. And I ended up scrapping it just because I didn't think that I did a good enough job. Which, I mean, most of my videos anyway, to be honest, I'm just a monkey with a camera, roaming around and saying all kinds of stupid stuff. But there were some things that I learned about that battle afterwards, and was like, oh, I need to do that right. So anyway, let's see. Faith Morrell sent a donation to PayPal. Hope it helps. Keep up the great work. I'm more than happy to support your mission. Hope to get to meet you someday. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm going to try and do. You mentioned about having a meetup there. I'm going to try and do some more of these like little group meetup things. So Chattanooga will be the first one. I've also looked at doing one in Nashville, maybe Kansas City. There are some different things that I would like to do, just because I like to talk history. So yeah, if there's an opportunity to do that, then yeah, I'm all about it. All right. Let's see. Oh, let me back up. Brandon Bentley, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Let me scroll through here. I might have missed one. Oh yeah, here we go. Chuck277 says, love your channel and would love to go meet you at Gettysburg when you go. Yeah, that would be cool. I think Gettysburg would be another really good place to do like a group meetup. So maybe after I do that series, we'll schedule like a return trip to Gettysburg. Here's another thing. People talk about, wanting to go with me here, there, or whatever, which is cool. And it's, like I said, very humbling. Watching me film at these sites would probably be like one of the most painful, disappointing things you've ever seen in your life. Just watching me mess up and fumble around, and I'll like put the camera out, and then somebody walks in, and I feel weird. So then I act like I'm doing something else. And yeah, it's probably like watching a baby deer try and walk for the same time or for the first time. All right, let's see. Do the KC one at the World War I Museum. Yeah, if I do something in Kansas City, that's what we would do. We would go to the World War I Museum. That's another place that I haven't done a video on yet, and really want to. I need some more World War I content, but it's kind of limited over here. I guess that bunker that I went to in Portland, Maine, that kind of checks the World War I box, because those were built during World War I. Okay, see, meetup in Chattanooga, where at in particular. I'll release the details of that whenever I get them. Whenever I get it all figured out. The Medal of Honor Museum would definitely be one of them, though. See, have you thought about visiting Antietam? Yeah, that's very, very high on the list. That's another one that I really want to make sure that I do right. Not that I do any of them right, but get it as close to right as I can. Let's see. You should do one on transportation. Heads up, Terre Haute is the crossroads of America. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check out some stuff in Terre Haute. I need to get up and do some videos in Indiana. See, Sergeant York, home in Tennessee. That's another one. I actually have it up here on my computer right now. I have this Google Doc that is entitled The Big List, and it's got a whole bunch of states and then different places. People will give me suggestions and things like that, and I'll jot them down, because like I said, if somebody leaves a YouTube comment, I'll see it, and then to go back and find that comment Holy cow, it's not easy. Let's see, Fort William, Henry, Lake George. Yeah, yeah. I actually have a French and Indian War video coming up next week that will hopefully be kind of cool. Let's see, historical geocaching. Also know exactly what you mean about filming. Make history videos too. Completely understand. Do the same thing. Yeah, it's awkward as heck. Hey, I got somebody from New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand. Oh my gosh, I had an opportunity to go film there. Oh gosh, that's been 5 or 6 years ago. But because of, you know, limited time off at work, I couldn't do it, and I was heartbroken. See, War of 1812, Fort Niagara. That's one that's on the big list. See, New Hampshire. Hello, Tommy. Okay. Oh man, this is moving fast. Again, let's see. Did you buy a piece of one of the buildings at Camp Toccoa? Mine is sitting on my desk next to me. Yep, mine is sitting on my desk as well. Not this desk, but my other desk where I work. There was no way I was going to Toccoa and not taking one of those pieces home. I kind of wish I'd have bought a few now. Let's see, Beverly. I'll have to go back and look at some of these suggestions later on. Oh, here's somebody saying, when is the merch dropping, my dude? Okay, so I decided that, you know, we're approaching 100,000 subscribers. Maybe it's time for me to look at least a little bit professional. So I'm having a website built right now as we speak. It's being worked on, and I'm going to have a store set up, and I'm looking at. I spent some time today working on it. I've got some ideas for some T-shirts. So yeah, the merch. The merch is coming. I've had it on my mind. Okay, Poland. Oh, another person from Poland. That is so amazing. I love that people from all over the world are checking in here and watch the videos. That's one thing that was kind of interesting to me is seeing people, you know, from the Netherlands, from India, from Singapore, you know, from all over the world that, you know, watch these videos and leave comments. It's pretty humbling. You should do John Brown's Bleeding Kansas. That's another one that is on my list. I have some ideas for that too. Let's see. Montana. I love Montana. Love Montana. Okay, let's see. And a coffee cup. Okay. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know that a lot of people are. So coffee cup is not something that's usually at the forefront of my mind, but it will be now. I'll see if we can come up with a clever coffee cup. Okay, Aaron asking, what is the tattoo on your forearm? That might be probably one of the top questions that I get is asking what my tattoo says. It's the Russian word usinovlen, which means adopted in Russian. It pulls from Galatians chapter 4 out of the Bible, where it talks about how basically I'm paraphrasing, that we're all spiritual outsiders and God to his family. And then the Russian is I have some personal ties to Eastern Europe that are kind of meaningful to me. But yeah, I get that question quite a bit. Let's see. Appreciate the videos. Levi, thank you. Appreciate that. Don't forget to make some hats. Yeah. We'll have to figure out some clever ideas for hats. I'm kind of a minimalist. By the way, maybe I can start reselling this hat right here. I get so many people griping about my hat. People, I don't know, have passionate opinions about the hat. Let's see, Origins can, yeah. So I've been, the video coming out tomorrow. So William Bennett said something about Origin. This is a company. As a matter of fact, I've got one of their drinks right here. I'm getting ready to crack open. This is a company that I've had a relationship with. They don't pay me anything. A lot of people think that, you know, I'm sponsored by Origin or they give me a whole bunch of money. There's no financial transaction. I just really like what they're doing. And in the next two videos, starting with the video tomorrow, you'll see why. It's it's really neat what they've got going on there. Let's see. Casco Bay is calling Fort Gorgeous. Please don't bring up Fort Gorgeous, because that just hurts my heart that I didn't get to go there while I was in Portland. But I am going to come back to Portland at some point, and I'm going to go to Fort Gorgeous. I think I'm saying that right. Let's see. Rhode Island, home and burial place of Elijah Hunt Rhodes. Oh, dang. I did not know that. That is awesome. Dislocated 8. What do you do for work in the quote unquote real world? Regular high school history teacher. Let's see. MVP, I love your hat. Your trademark. Yeah, I like my hat too. I like my hat too. Thank you. Hey, somebody from Scotland. Man, this is so cool that people are. I didn't expect anybody from Europe to be on here. I thought everybody'd be in bed. But no, that's really cool. All right, if you'll pardon me for a second, I need to get something to drink. All right, let's see. If you didn't wear your hat, we'd be asking, who the heck is that? Yeah, exactly. Hi from Eastern Washington State. Yeah, I've been to Seattle's airport, but that's it. I really want to get up there and spend some time in Washington, though. See, did you see First Popham? No, I didn't. Actually, don't know what that is. So I'll have to look into that. Sounds interesting. Biltmore State, very interesting place to visit. Kyle Mook. Yeah, the Biltmore is incredible, and I would like to do a video there. Actually, oh gosh, my wife and I went there and visited whenever we were on our honeymoon. Crud, how long has that been? Trying to think of how long I've been married. 15 years, 16 years. So it's been a while since I've been to the Biltmore, but yeah, that is a really cool place. Let's see, somebody coming in from New Mexico. Definitely want to get down to New Mexico too. What do your students think about your videos? They seem to like them. If they don't like them, they're at least polite and don't say anything bad about it. So I don't know. I guess they like them. The reason that I started the channel to begin with was really because I had students tell me, hey, you need to start a YouTube channel. I've got a background in video editing. Oh yeah, there was another person who asked if I'm an outdoorsman or a hunter, and the answer to that is yes. So my background as far as video production is in the outdoor industry. So I've worked with several different TV shows, like hunting shows and things like that. I do post-production work for a show on Pursuit Channel called Full Draw Adventures. And yeah, so anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I am an outdoorsman, and do quite a bit of hunting. Okay, let's see. Some of the best teachers I've ever had were history teachers. Had a Georgia history teacher by the name of Mr. Simpson, who was a Q dog and was outstanding. Yeah. I had a biology teacher and an English teacher that were really good. Let's see. Dina O'Brien, which history adventure did you like the most? My trip, that series that I did going to Normandy and Belgium was by far my favorite. And people ask me like what's the my favorite place that I've ever been, and gosh, it's like picking my favorite kid. Normandy ranks pretty high up there. If you saw the episode from Saint Vith, Belgium, where I talked to my friend who's a World War II veteran, was a POW, and I talked to him from the patch of woods where he was captured. That has probably, I don't know, holds more personal meaning as far as the episodes that I've put together. Okay, let's see. When you get time away, this is Dislocated 8. When you get time away from work, you should spend a few days in Charleston. Yeah, I actually thought about doing vacation down in Charleston next summer and then filming some videos. My poor family. We go on vacation and it's all history stuff, but I don't know. They love history, so it's all right. But yeah, I would like to go to Charleston. I haven't been there in a long time. Fort Leavenworth Museum, Custer's home of Buffalo Soldiers. That would be cool. I would like to do that. William Bennett's ever going to be besties. Come hunt our farm in PA. I'm always looking for a new place to hunt. Let's see. Red or green chili. Take your time to try both separately in New Mexico. Request Christmas. Interesting. All right. See, Jonathan Merck, were you able to see the range pits or the water treatment facility at Camp Toccoa? No. Hang on. Here's somebody that I need to kick off of here, I think. I didn't get to see that. What I'm hoping is that if we do this cleanup day in the spring, I'll do a video talking about, showing, the graffiti and before and after and stuff like that. And I would like to go to the range and maybe try and find some other stuff. They got some that are happening there at Camp Toccoa. They're getting ready to do some, there's a lot going on there. By the way, they run completely on private donations. I know they're needing to build a sidewalk system there to accommodate people who are physically challenged. And I was talking to George a couple of days ago, and he said that just to put in that sidewalk is going to be 20 grand, which was insane. But he told me that they, since I posted that video, they've actually had quite a few people donating, which felt really good. They've pulled in, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 in donations just since I put that video up, which is great. I mean, I didn't even say anything about donating to the camp. I wish I would have now. But anyway, maybe we can do like a work weekend where we help at Toccoa, we clean up the mountain, we pick up trash, and we watch me film like a moron and stuff around with the camera. Let me back up here. There was another one that I was wanting to look at. Let's see. Rock Guitarist 1. Know how I feel visiting the beaches of Normandy. I feel like it would be very emotional. It was pretty heavy whenever I visited a concentration camp in Munich. Yeah. Dachau is probably one of the most haunted places I've ever been. I took a student group there, and we went to Munich and Salzburg, but we went to Dachau, and wow, it was something else. Let's see, Christopher Reed, what other platforms can we cover with you on? Okay, so I'm on Facebook. So it's at the History Underground on Facebook. On Instagram, which I had somebody gigging me the other day. They sent me a message and they said, how can you have over 80,000 subscribers on YouTube and less than 1,000 on Instagram? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just not very good social media promoter, I guess. But on Instagram, it's at _history_underground. That's on Instagram. And on Twitter, I think it's at the History Under, I think. But if you look up the History Underground on Twitter, you can probably find it. Yeah. Let's see. Kathleen Brenner, history vacations raise good kids. Well, I hope so. Let's see. Adelaide, Morningstar cemeteries are some of the best places to visit on vacation. Yeah, I love visiting cemeteries. I always have. Let's see. Somebody asking me here, Frank Marullo, if I have a P.O. box. I need to get one. So I'm a huge collector as well. So I collect a lot of military items, mainly World War I, World War II. And I've had a lot of people who, they have something from their grandfather or their great grandfather, and they don't have any place to put it. They want to see it put to good use, so they don't have any family who are interested or who will appreciate it. So they end up giving it to me to be like a caretaker. One of my long-term goals, I would love to open a museum one day. But anyway, you mentioned the PO box. Somebody reached out to me the other day and said that they had something from the Civil War that they wanted to send me. And it ended up being an eye surgeon's kit, which was really, really cool. So that's being put to good use and is going to be a really good teaching aid. Kind of a funny story with that. He told me that whenever he got it, he said that everything is in there that was originally in there, except for there were 4 little pills, that white pills, whenever he saw it or whenever he got it. And he had a friend who was in the DEA, so they turned these pills over to him. Turns out it was cocaine that was in there. They would use cocaine to like deaden the feeling in the eye, I guess, before they would operate. But anyway, it's kind of a funny story. Let's see. Great topic would be musicians in the war. Grandfather was a musician in World War One. If I could find like something to show, that would be a really interesting topic. I kind of run into that problem a lot. I'll see something, I'll be like, oh man, that is so interesting. People need to know about that. But the video would be nothing if there's nothing to show or if there's nowhere to go. It's just me telling you about something, which I've thought about adding another element to the channel of doing like little 3-minute history shorts where something like that you could, put it on people's map. Let's see, Alaska and the Yukon. Yeah, that would be cool. Doing some gold rush history up there. Ooh, if I go to Alaska, I would want to hunt something while I'm up there. Let's see. Somebody said favorite president, Teddy Roosevelt, hands down. Let me go down a little bit here. I'll go back and read all of these later. I apologize that I'm not getting them all. It's it's just moving too fast for me. I need to get my wife to maybe sit and monitor on a computer and she can keep up with some of the questions. Larry mentions Hollywood Cemetery. Yeah, that Hollywood Cemetery I've got plans for, multiple plans. Let's see, JD, I enjoy your videos. This is from Tony Schoen because they're real, not polished YouTube Pro videos. Oh, thank you. There are a few flaws here and there, and that makes them real. Don't think that you need to make them perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I think that that's another misconception that people have is that there have been, I honestly try and get everything right. And if I don't know something, I'll be honest about it. In that video where I go to Cushing's Island and I get to that tower, I say, I think that this is a World War II observation tower, but I'm not sure. So I try and be pretty forthcoming, if I don't know something. There are sometimes that I've said things that are wrong, just like my brain knows the right answer and it comes out wrong out of my mouth. And then in the editing, I don't, make the correction. It just slips by me. Anytime I do find out that I got something wrong, I'll put notes in the description and say, hey, at 5-minute mark, I said this is the correction, because I mislead people. But thank you for the kind words. Oh yeah, Alan. Yeah, Alan's the one who sent me the surgical kit. We busted that out in my class, and my students were fascinated. And thank you for not sending me the cocaine. That could have been a problem. Hey, Vance Watson. Any idea of the Pacific time mentioned? Okay, so I really, really want to get over to the Pacific. The problem with the Pacific, it's really, really expensive. So for those of you that are keeping up with the comments over here, Vance is my scout over in the Pacific Theater right now, and he's kind of helping me out, with, telling me, hey, this is what you can find here, this is what you can find there. But I would really, really like to get to the Pacific, and I'm working on some grants to maybe the one that I have in mind. I would go to Hawaii and then Saipan and Tinian. I would love to go to Peleliu though. Peleliu would, I think, just be cool as heck. Let's see. Should do a video on Audie Murphy. I've got some Audie plans in one of my videos from Washington D.C. So if you go back and look at that DC series, whenever I'm at the American History Museum, I show his uniform. But yeah, there are some Audie Murphy ideas that I have as well. Let's see. Have ever thought of Jed83? Ever thought about doing a video on the Rosewood, Florida massacre? I would need to educate myself on that. I'm not familiar with what the Rosewood, Florida massacre is. Huh. Okay, look up Charlie King at Antietam. He was a drummer boy for the Union. Would be a great 3-minute video. Oh, awesome. Let's see. Ever thought about exploring Dillinger or Capone haunts? Maybe Bonnie and Clyde. So I would like to get some videos on some of those old 20s gangsters. That's a gap that I have in the channel right now. The Revolutionary War is another big gap that I have. So yeah, there are a few places that I'm looking at. One of them was an old, I think it was a John Dillinger hideout that looked just cool as heck. That I want to get up and see. Let's see, a pretty decently normal human. Interesting name. Man, I wish you were my history teacher. Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that. My students might disagree, but thanks. Let's see, Bridge on the River Kwai in Thailand. Yeah, if I go to Thailand, that would be a cool one. Peter Ronsky, I think I said your name right, said, how about Auschwitz in Poland? Yeah, Auschwitz is another one that's really high on my list. I mentioned earlier that I've taken different tours with students where we go to different historic places in Europe, and one that I would really like to do is Berlin, and then go down into like Krakow, and then also see Auschwitz. So yeah, that's very high on my list. Old movie, say, so Toccoa 77, old movie locations around Independence, California. There's an old internment camp there. Interesting. Yeah, I would kind of like to see that. Huh. Let's see. Come to Kearney in Liberty, Missouri. Do a video on Jesse James. Yep, that's on the big list that I mentioned earlier. Let's see. Favorite World War II movie, miniseries, and show from wartime productions. So, favorite World War II movie. Oh gosh, this is going to sound so cliche. Saving Private Ryan is one of my favorites, even though there are some historically, there's some problems with that movie. For one, I just have to turn my brain off a little bit whenever I'm watching Saving Private Ryan, especially in the opening scene. They have the wooden ramps are pointed the wrong direction, which drives me nuts. And then also they have like this big square concrete bunker with a machine gun, nest in Saving Private Ryan. And there's nothing like that on Omaha Beach. And then on D-Day, they had a code word that they would say to each other to identify each other. They would say flash and thunder. And in Saving Private Ryan, they say thunder and flash. But it's just little things that a nerd like me picks up on. As far as the series, Band of Brothers, for sure. Although I'm very excited that they're getting ready to do production on Masters of the Air and cover the air war in Europe. Let's see. Recommend Kings Mountain for a great Revolutionary War site. I've got a buddy who lives in South Carolina, and he told me that I need to come out and stay with him and go to Kings Mountain. Let's see. Stephen Boyce, my history put me to sleep. He was boring. Oh man. And that's so unfortunate. Whenever I talk to people and, they find out that I'm really into history or something like that. And they make the comment if they make the comment that they hate history, within about 2 or 3 questions, I can usually narrow it down to a history teacher. And it's usually, the stereotypical history teacher who's also a football coach. And, students walk in, they sit down and they read for an hour while he watches, replays of films and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so that's unfortunate, but, fortunately there's all kinds of great resources on YouTube. And hopefully, that's kind of getting people interested in history. Let's see, what about slave underground places for your videos? I've been researching that as well. There was one place that I found in Indiana, I believe, that I think I could do a video on. Like I said earlier, the problem with what I do is there are a lot of super interesting topics in history, but unless I have like a physical place that I can go or a museum, or if there's got to be something that I can kind of show, because man, the last thing that people want to do is just look at my face for 10 or 15 minutes talking about a topic. I see a few people on here mentioning The Liberator, which is a new series on Netflix. And it's based on, well, actually I have it right here. It's based on this book right here by Alex Kershaw. And it was the story about a man named Sparks who just has this incredible odyssey through the European theater and war. And they did it in like this quasi animated format. And I didn't know how that was going to translate. But in my opinion, it was really, really good. And I agree with Mr. Frickin' Frackin' that it was brutally short. They could have done 10 episodes with that, and I would have watched every single one. And I hope that the success of it compels them to do some more like it. For my generation, Band of Brothers in the Pacific, that was like our big thing. If you talk to average 15, 16-year-old student now and ask them about Band of Brothers, they have no clue. It's just something that they haven't seen because they really don't have access to it, to be honest with you. So having something that would give them access to this history and learning new things, yeah, I would love to see more and more stuff like that. Okay. Let's see, Markle Mill, Terre Haute, Indiana. There are rumors that the house and mill had slave tunnels that collapsed during the summer. Interesting. Yeah, I really, really want to do some videos on the Underground Railroad, but I just gotta find the right place to do it. So if you know of a place, shoot me an email or a message on Facebook or Instagram. That way I can add it to the big list. Let's see. Oh, hey, here we go. Kathleen Brenner saying in Gettysburg, there's the Dobbin House. It was used in the Underground Railroad, and the owner's name is Jackie, and she will show you. It's amazing. So I'm guessing that's a private residence now, maybe. I would, I would be all over that though, for sure. Let's see. It was originally going. Okay, so I guess we're talking about the Liberator here. It was originally going to be 8 live action episodes for History Channel, but they didn't have the cash. So that's one thing that I was thinking about with the Liberator, is that you can do it, like you can make that movie or you can make that series and you can tell that story. And I think that you can do it for, I don't know how much it costs. I would have to send a message to Alex Kershaw and see if he would tell me the details of it. But it seems like that you could bring your costs down quite a bit, and maybe do more of these type things, because you don't have to actually get, a Sherman tank or a Tiger tank or any of that. Okay, let's see. Crazy American. There's a church on Munjoy Hill, Portland, Maine, which was involved in the Underground Railroad. Oh, okay, cool. Like I said, I'm definitely planning on getting back to Portland. I was just blown away by everything that I saw up there. Man, so pretty. I'm pumped to show the rest of the videos that I have from Portland. Let's see. I've got my show list here. From Maine, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more episodes that I'll be showing. Wartime Productions. Ever thought of going to Minnesota? There's a U-boat captured 2 days before D-Day in one of the museums there. I did not know that. I went to the one in Chicago and went through that U-boat, and they wouldn't let me take video in there. So I had to just do pictures. But I'll have to check that out. See, Brendan Cripps, come to Concord, Massachusetts. Could hit Revolutionary War stuff. Also Lexington, as well as the Transcendentalist. Yeah, like I said, Revolutionary War is just a huge gap on my channel right now, and I get quite a bit of requests from people asking about that. So I really want to get up to that area and spend a lot of time and just do some Revolutionary War stuff. Man, I'm starting. If I could do this full time, man, I could just crank out videos like crazy. But anyway, kind of got to do what I can, where I can, when I can. Let's see. Claire Ravenwood from Canada. Hey, how's it going? I've been to Canada a couple times. Once I'd say I've been to Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec. Yeah, did a bear hunt in Quebec. As a matter of fact, I've got the skull right here. Yeah, love Canada, though. Definitely want to get up there as soon as the borders open back up. Colton Jeeps, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. Says you should do a video on the World War II war machine, war production like Willys and Ford's Jeeps, Boeing Beechcraft factories in Wichita. The Flight Museum in Wichita, Kansas is awesome. Yeah, so I've thought about that. And I've wondered, a lot of people have suggested me going to the Ford Museum up in Detroit. And, hang on a second. Somebody's blowing up the dadgum chat here. Let me just see ya. Anyway, wow, I just got completely run over by my train of thought. Oh yeah. I've wondered if at that place up in Detroit at the Ford Museum, if they have anything about their wartime production, because I would really like to tell that story. But yeah, that Flight Museum, I'll have to check that out. Let's see. National World War I Museum in Kansas City is great. Haven't been there in a long time ago. Yeah, I've been there before, and it's been a while. But that's one of my favorite museums that I've ever been to. They did an outstanding job with that. Let's see. Tony Schoen. Earlier, Steve Boyce asked what history era you teach. Curious myself. Oh, okay, I apologize. That one slipped by me. It's American history, and I teach Reconstruction as far to the present day as I can possibly get. Yeah, which is also my favorite era in history as well. So it works out well. Let's see. Next year, for details, Ohio for the weekend World War II reenactment. They also reenact with the 82nd. Yeah, that would be cool. Somebody else sent me a message the other day talking about a World War II weekend in Pennsylvania. But that'd be pretty cool. I've been to some World War II reenactments, and and it's really cool for me just to see the like the vehicles that they bring out, like Sherman tanks and Stuart tanks and different things like that, half tracks. I made contact with a guy who I've got his card around here somewhere, who owns a Sherman tank, and I'm wanting to get with him and see if he'll let me take a ride in it. Maybe we can go out to a field and I can drive the tank. I think that would be just cool as heck. I've also got another guy here locally who's offered to take me flying in a World War II. It's either World War II or Korean War trainer. I forget what plane it is, but oh gosh, I don't know. I might do it, but dang, that if you've watched any of the videos, heights are not exactly my favorite thing in the world, and that just sounds horrifying to me. But anyway, let me Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Okay, so Colton Jeeps. I want to teach American history, finishing up my teaching degree. Hey, good luck, man. It's a big responsibility. We have a huge problem right now with history teachers who are abusing their positions and pumping out some really dangerous stuff. I think a lot of problems that we're seeing, not only in this country but in Britain, I've heard a lot of stuff. Has to do with really some bad history education. So anyway, George Mingaso said, oh, I lost it. Hang on. Love everything you do. Thank you. Was there a history teacher you had in high school that inspired you to be such an amazing history teacher? Myself, I don't know if I'm an amazing history teacher. I'm mediocre at best, but thank you. I did have some good history teachers whenever I was in school. Really, my love of history kind of predated that, though. I was really into history from a young age, and that mainly came from my grandpa, who grew up during the Depression and was a combat engineer in the Korean War, and then also my dad. My dad was really he grew up, like in the 50s and 60s. Was really big in the space program, like the Mercury and Gemini and Apollo programs. So I grew up, and that's really, I think, what the spark was. Plus, I come from a family of storytellers. So anyway, yeah, I think that's kind of where I got the bug there. I saw somebody mention the Dragon Man Museum out in Colorado. I reached out to them, and I never heard anything back. So I would love to go out to the Dragon Man Museum and do some stuff. That guy's collection is insane. People think that I have a collection that's something. Oh, dear heavens. It's nothing compared to what he has. Let's see. Spirit and Mo has a B-17 that you can fly in as well. Yeah, I would love to go up in some of these old bombers. I think that would be pretty cool. Whoa, William Bennett. Can't get you a tank, but I can get you a cannon. If you have a cannon to shoot, that would be kind of cool. You can go blow up a pumpkin or something. Let's see. Rock Guitarist 1, passionate teachers are always the ones that teach the best. I've always learned the most from those. Yeah, I agree. Not so much from those who just showed up for a check. Yeah, I agree completely. Let's see. The American Heritage Museum in Hudson, Mass. Check out the website. They have a World War I tank to Abrams tank. Ooh, there's another place in Virginia that somebody sent me something about that has a whole bunch of like tanks and everything like that. So I would really like to go check that out as well. Let's see. That sounds fascinating. Let's see. You should do Gettysburg reenactment next year as an episode. That would be cool to see. My only issue with that is I have a feeling there would be a ton of people there. And me walking around pointing at myself with a bunch of people around, I just don't know if I can do it. So I like to go whenever there's not a lot of people around. It makes it a little bit better. But that would be, I would like to see that for sure. Let's see. Richard Knight saw a video where you could ride in the ball turret of a B-17. Yeah, I think that's in Texas, and I need to reach out to them because I would love to get into the ball turret of a B-17 and shoot the heck out of something. I think that would be awesome. Let's see. Tank Museum. Yes, Danville, Virginia. Thanks, Larry. That's where it was. Yep. Let's see. JC, Australia doesn't have the history like America does. Was in America recently catching up with some American airmen. Oh, that I meant while serving in Afghanistan. Your history is amazing. Thanks. I would love to get to Australia. I think there's a whole lot there that that would be interesting to see. Let's see. Need to hit up Yuma, Arizona. General Patton trained here prior to North Africa. Huh. I will have to check that out. Let's see. Alan Plank Clang, $4,000 a seat. Whoa, I don't know. I guess you're referring to one of the bombers, maybe. But dang, that sounds a little bit out of my budget. Let's see. Brad Balderson, I have a history teacher here where I live that skips over the Civil War. Oh, my dear heavens. Tells their students it's not important enough to learn about. Oh, gosh. Okay, so this is our problem. This is why we have problems. Oh, man. Let's see, Vance, how tall are you? The ball tour is sort of small. Yeah, I know that they would always put the smaller guys in the ball turret. I stand about 5'10", 5'11". So yeah. Let's see. Alan, don't sell yourself short. Very good at what you do. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad that you enjoy it. Ever thought of going to Jamestown, Virginia? Yeah. I've given that some thought too. Military history is kind of my thing, so I have to really. I find everything interesting. As a matter of fact, the next two videos. Let me finish my thought here before I just go scattering around. I have to be really careful that I don't get hung up on military history and that I'm showing a broad range. But with that being said, I'm interested in everything. So the video tomorrow, I'm at the Origin facility up in Farmington, Maine. As a matter of fact, the next two, I'm at the Origin facility, and oh man, it is cool as heck. There's an old textile mill that I'm also looking at going to here in the Midwest, and I want to get back to Maine because there's a city up there called Lewiston. And they've got a bunch of old mills, and there's a lot of history there, about the American manufacturing and what happened to it and things like that. But anyway, let's see. Brendan Cripps sounds more like that history teacher wanted to avoid some uncomfortable truths. JD's right about the burden of being a history teacher now. It's a very challenging time. Yeah, it really is. It really is. So there are a couple of different ways to teach history, American history. And really this could apply in any country, I guess, but I'm just going to speak specifically of American history. One way is you can teach American history that this is a great country that has accomplished some great things, but we have had times where the people have not lived up to that greatness. Okay, so for example, slavery, the Japanese internment camps, segregation. Okay, that's not living up to our highest ideals. Okay, the other way of teaching it is where America is inherently evil, and our history is a struggle between the haves and the have-nots, or the oppressors and the oppressed. And teachers who teach in that style what you are embedding into the students is that this is an inherently flawed country and is not of value and needs to be recalibrated or restarted. So anyway, that's a big issue right now, and it's one, man. If you watch my videos, I leave my opinion out for the most part. I try and shoot right down the middle. I try and just say, boom, here's the history. Here's what happened. Do with it what you want. But I've been wondering if I maybe need to start making some separate videos, not in the History Traveler series. I would never do anything that would, be controversial or influential or whatever in those videos. But anyway, something about the state of history education right now. But anyway, I don't know, just kind of rambled a little bit there. See, Adelaide Morningstar, you seem 6'6" to me. Not quite. Let's see. Let me back up. So MVP asked, so they're excited to see the main stuff since you're moving there. Oh, cool. I hear the winters are awesome. Curious when you were there filming. That was the last week of October. So it wasn't that long ago. I mean, I was up there, just a little bit ago. And then I got stuck in the airport in Detroit on the way back and had to spend the night in the airport. Missed a day of work. So that kind of stank. Well, half a day. But let's see. If you ever find yourself in England, be sure to visit the Imperial War Museums. Okay, so I took a group of students on a tour of Paris, Normandy, and London. And we went to one of the Imperial. Since you pluralized that, I'm guessing there's more than one. And man, it was cool as heck. The one that I went to had a chunk of the Berlin Wall in front of it. But yeah, I want to go to some of those RAF places too. Bovington Tank Museum. I need to get to England. I think that would be just a content-rich place. No, excuse me. This got a little carbonation going on here, and I'm getting the burps while I'm talking. I'm trying not to make that vocalized, but anyway. Let's see. Go to Los Alamos and talk about the people who developed the atomic bomb, especially my personal hero, Richard Feynman. So another funny story. Wow, did this just get bright? What the heck? I was looking at going at Los Alamos. I think in October of every year they have a weekend where they open it up and you can go to, I guess you would call it Ground Zero, or the spot where the atomic bomb was tested for the first time. But COVID shut it down this year. So anyway, maybe next year, or maybe I can arrange to go there another time. Let's see. Amy Crunk, can you tell us about your profession work? Yeah, you must have jumped in partway through the video here. I'm a high school history teacher. Yeah, just regular old teacher. Let's see. Tuba Dude, I'll email you some tips on England World War II sites off the beaten path. I would love that. I try and mix things up a little bit on the History Traveler series. I want to show places that anybody can go to and that are kind of, more popular. If you're traveling, you can go there yourself. And then I also like to show those out of the way places, like the last episode where I was at Cushing Island, showing the bunkers on the American side. Brandon Fleming, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate that. It says, hi, big fan. Just wanted to say appreciate your work. Keep it up. Hey, that means more to me than you know. I really do appreciate that. It's still hard for me to kind of wrap my head around that, people enjoy the content, but I'm glad. That means that, people are into history. That's how I count it. Let's see. Trinity site is where they blew up the bomb. Yeah. April and October are the open house dates. Oh, I didn't know that there was one in April. I knew that there was one in October. Huh. Okay. Oh, yep, Vance. Yeah, Alamogordo, not Los Alamos. Yeah, but I want to go to Los Alamos too. That would all be in there. Vance is also, in addition to being a scout for me in the, he's got an incredible wealth of knowledge. So he's also my fact checker as well. As a matter of fact, in the last episode where I went to Cushing's Island, I'm just stumbling around there like a complete oaf in the dark in that big bunker. And right after that video posted, Vance sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, here, go to this site, go to this site. Here are all those things." Yeah, so I really appreciate it. That's one thing I like about this channel the most, honestly, is I get to learn so much every time I post a video. People leave comments or they send me messages, and I mean, I'm learning right along with everybody. So whenever you're watching the videos, I mean, you're legit. In a lot of them, I do a whole bunch of research ahead of time. But a lot of times, I mean, you're discovering things right along with me as we go. Let's see, Richard Knight, Little Bighorn. Yeah, I've got some big plans for Little Bighorn, and if I can connect with the right people on Little Bighorn and Gettysburg both, I can't give it away, but it'll be cool. Tim Hageman, hey JD, just wanted to say publicly how much I appreciate you visiting our Rotary Club last week. So many members have contacted me to let me know how much they enjoyed your talk. Thank you. Yeah, so what you're referring to there is the Rotary Club out there in California invited me to be a guest for one of their meetings, and they had like 75 or 100 people that came in on Zoom, and yeah, talked a little bit about some of the travels that are attached to Band of Brothers. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Anytime I get to talk about history, I enjoy it. Let's see. Have you been to Nat? Whoa! Oh my gosh, the message just flipped off my screen here. Have you been to Natural Bridge where Washington surveyed? I have not. I was not even aware of that. I'll have to check into that though. All right, let me go back down here. Let's see. 2 battlefields from the Black Hawk War here in Illinois. Interesting. I'll have to check into that. Let's see. Warren Armour, thanks for bringing such great episodes to YouTube. Love it, love it. Hey, I love that you love it. That's yeah. Anytime people are excited about history, that's I'm right there with you. Let's see. Retired park ranger. Love your channel. Thank you. Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. I love North Carolina. That drive coming from, I guess, Knoxville maybe to Asheville. I forget what highway that is. But man, that is such a beautiful drive coming into North Carolina. Let's see. Richard Knight, Custer defeating Jeb Stuart at Gettysburg and thwarting Lee's true design with Pickett's charge. Yeah, like I said earlier, whenever I do Gettysburg, I'm going to set aside a huge chunk of time, and I'm going to make just a giant series out of Gettysburg. Just get it all done, and it'll legitimately probably be the list that I have made up for Gettysburg. I would break like little things down here and there, and I think I've got like 20 episodes that it would be like a 20-part series on Gettysburg. That might run everybody off. They might hate the channel after that and be like, oh my gosh, I wish this guy would go somewhere else. But I think a lot of topics, and I think Gettysburg is one of them, that if you in order to understand all of it, it's best to break it down into its individual pieces, and that's kind of what I would like to do there. Let's see. Hey, Wartime Productions just became my 1,000th follower on Instagram. Hang on, let me just check that out quick. That is awesome. Oh man, So this is funny. So you probably became the 1,000th follower, and then there was somebody that decided that they didn't like the channel anymore. Oh, let me see. There's a glare. Yeah, so now it's at 999. uh, well, the Lord gives and the Lord takes. Let's see. See, I'm just through some of the comments. There's some people talking to each other. Let's see. Please get a PO box. I have a lot of paperwork on Custer that I would love to send you. Yeah, I need to get a PO box. I think I started telling something about a PO box earlier and how I need to get one, and it ended up being a story about a Civil War surgical kit and cocaine. I kind of got off on a tangent there, but yes, Frank, I do need to get a PO box. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Let's see, Colton Jeeps. You should collab with the Aqua Chigger on YouTube for a metal detecting video for Civil War relics. I would love that. I would love that. So if you have any connection with Aqua Chigger, send him a message. Send him a message. I would be down for. I'd be down for that. I am looking at doing a metal detecting trip. It'll probably be in February, maybe. Hitting a Civil War site that I don't want to give it away, but the story behind it is pretty cool. Let's see, Bob Gastrick or Gastrike. You need to come to St. Louis, Missouri, and go through Jefferson Barracks at in the Veterans Memorial in St. Louis. Okay, so if you'll go back, yeah, Bob, if you'll go back to like some of the first videos that I did. As a matter of fact, the very first video that I did was at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. And then I did another one around Christmas time last year at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. And then one of those early episodes, I can't remember which one it is. I go to the Soldiers Memorial there in St. Louis. That's kind of an overlooked spot. I was really impressed with what they have there. Something that people may not know, if you've ever seen the movie Monuments Men, it's about guys that went over in World War II trying to rescue this and track down this lost art that the Nazis stole. One of the Monuments Men was one of the sculptors or designers for Soldiers Memorial in St. Louis. Kind of cool. Okay. Let's see. Mike Crabb, absolutely brilliant channel. Is that the term? But ignorant on tech. Great to see live. Oh, okay. Awesome. Tend to have more World War I memorials here in Australia because greatest casualties in that conflict. Keep it up. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. I would love to. I'm also wanting to, I have so many ideas and places that I want to go. I want to do a World War I series at some point and kind of talk a little bit about the role that that the Aussies played in World War I. And then if I ever get to the Pacific, what was done in World War II as well. Okay. Let's see. We're talking about me. Okay, yeah. I'm just kind of cycling through some of the comments here. Let's see. Doug Woodruff, your honest approach to history is refreshing. Can't wait for your next visit, Cousin Doug. Yeah. So whenever I went to Chattanooga, my guide through that area was my cousin Doug. So I really appreciated him. And he did a lot of the drone work that you see in those videos too. Did a great job, really added to it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back down there. Let's see. Ian Carriage, you have up to 1,005 Instagram followers now. Hi from London, England. Oh man, that is so cool to me that there's people from England It's like middle of the night for you guys right now. Yeah, I think here's one thing about Instagram that annoys the heck out of me is like on the stories, there's a feature where you can swipe up and it'll like link you directly to a video. But I think you have to have like 10,000 followers, which apparently I'm 895 away from right now. But I wish they would lower the threshold for some of us smaller guys. That way I could link directly to the videos through Instagram story. But anyway, whatever. Let's see. Vance Watson still heading to the islands I mentioned, just trying to get connecting flights now. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you find over there. Let's see. Simon Keast would love to visit the Solomons. Yeah, I would really like to visit the Solomon Islands as well. Let's see. Amy Crunk, do you have a Shiloh video? No, I don't. Shiloh is another one of those places that I really want to do it right whenever I go. I mean, a lot of my videos, I just kind of stumble around and you're kind of seeing what I see. There's others where I want to do the research and make sure that I do it right. And Shiloh's one of them. Let's see, Chip, I think it was Chip Schaefer. I got to scroll back up here. Sagamore Hill, when you going? Right now. So for those of you that maybe have kept up with the channel and stuff like that, you might know that Teddy Roosevelt is not only my favorite president, he's one of my favorite historical figures of all time. But I would love to get to Sagamore Hill. The issue right now, I've never been to New York City, so I kind of want to take out a chunk of time and just see everything that there is to see that I would want to see in New York. The issue right now, from what I understand, is New York is pretty locked up tight as far as stuff with the pandemic goes. So it might be hard to do anything. But yes, I will get there at some point. Barbara Smith, thank you for the super chat there. Thank you for being you. Oh, I appreciate that. Hopefully the channel is doing some good for some people. Brandon Fleming, you should visit Huntsville, Alabama. So much space race history there. Brandon, I've got a video. Hang on a second. It's going to be end of December. Let me cover up the others here. There, you can kind of, well, there's too much of a glare there, but you can see Huntsville on there. I went through Huntsville, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Vance heading to the Solomons mid-December. Oh, that'd be cool. Vance is the guy who's got it going on. We need to get Vance a YouTube channel. I want to see these places that he's going. Okay, so I got to scroll down here. I apologize if there's a question that you ask that you really want to know and I didn't get to it. Go ahead and just ask it again. If you left just a general comment after this is done, I'm going to go back through and read them all. So don't think that I won't get to see it. Let's see. Alan 30189. Great place to film something on the Underground Railroad would be Cincinnati. They have a museum there called the Underground Railroad Museum. Well, that might be what I'm looking for. I will definitely add that to the big list. Let's see. Sagamore Hill is open. Was just looking it up on the website. Okay, awesome. The issue there is, I'm in the Midwest, and man, I would hate to get out there and a lot of the things that I would want to see if they're closed. I kind of, like I said, I want to hit a whole bunch of stuff in New York in one big swoop. Yeah, somebody just mentioned the 9/11 museum. That's one of them that I would really want to see. Let's see. Celtics 220078. Did you read any of the messages that I sent you? If you sent it, I've got a few emails that I haven't responded to, so I'm not sure where you what messages you're referring to there, Celtics. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or the email. Anybody that sends a message to one of those, I make it a point to answer every single one that is sent to me. I've gotten to where I can't respond to all of the comments on YouTube anymore on the videos, even though I try and answer as many or respond to as many on the first day, and then I just kind of do what I can after that. But if anybody sends me an email, an Instagram message, or a Facebook message, I always answer those. So if you didn't hear anything back from me, maybe just follow up, because and sometimes it takes me a few days to answer back on those. But it is possible that it slipped by me as well. So if that's the case, I do apologize. Let's see. Yankees fan, your channel is the best for history. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Vance, I just read your comment there. Lee Chapel. Somebody asked about a Pearl Harbor video. Yep. I really want to go to Pearl Harbor. For a while, like the place where you go out, the memorial over the USS Arizona was closed down because they had to do some repairs on it for a leak. And I definitely didn't want to go at that point. Like if I go, I want everything to be right. But yes, I do want to go to Pearl Harbor. I want to go to the cemetery there as well, and then they've got some bunkers. Let's see, Simon Keast. Oh, thank you for the super chat there. Wow, your channel has been huge for us during the pandemic. Use this to buy beer. Thanks. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. I'll probably use it to buy some gasoline for the next place that I go to. Yeah, I appreciate that more than you know. I've had some teachers and students from all over the country who have reached out to me, and have said some really nice things about the channel during the pandemic. How they're using it in their classroom. Whenever students are having to learn from home, they kind of appreciate the trips and everything. So yeah, that means a lot. I appreciate that. Let's see, part of the Underground Railway here in Freeport, Illinois. If it's something that I could go tour and show, I'd be into that. Let's see, Harriet Tubman National Historic Site on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Could spend a year in Maryland. Yeah, there's so much history there on the East Coast that is so dense. Alan Bauer, is that a turkey behind your right shoulder? Yep, that's a fan off of a turkey that I killed. Not sure about that bird. I think it was a couple of years ago. I was going to do something with the fan and use it with a decoy. But yeah. See, Aaron, serious question. History freezes a moment in time. Normandy, for example. How do we respect the history before and after the region, when as Americans it's frozen in time for us? So let me take a quick swig here real quick. My wife is jumping on here. That's awesome. So these, to answer your question, or hopefully this will answer your question. And let me go back and just reread that. How do we respect the history before and after the region? To me, these places, whether it's a building, whether it's a battlefield, whether it's a bunker, it's kind of like a photo that you take. Okay, so a photo is just a piece of paper that kind of catches this moment in time, and that photo is like it's a historical marker for you. Okay, so if you go through the photos on your phone, you can look at that and it takes you back to that time. Okay, and you feel or you remember what you felt, or you remember what was going on, or you remember the people. to me, all of these different places, like I said, whether it's a building or a battlefield or whatever, you're looking at kind of a snapshot of history right there, and that's why I go to these places and why I think that they're so important. So if we'll bring up Gettysburg. If you go to Gettysburg, um, Gettysburg is a field. It's a field and woods. That's all that it is. What makes it important is what happened there. So you can go to these places and you can remember. So we go to Gettysburg and we remember, how awful it was that this country um, it tried to destroy itself, um, and how things got to where they were. Okay, you go to Normandy, you go to Omaha Beach, and listen, it's just a beach. It looks like any other beach, um, but it's not just any other beach because of what happened there. So whenever and kind of going back to Currahee, that's why Currahee is so important, and that's why it's so awful that it's been defaced and spray painted. Is because that's a place where people come to remember some of the qualities of some of our better people: patriotism, sacrifice, honor, um, courage. Okay, so we come there to remember those things, um, and whenever those things are defaced, um, it takes away from the memory. I don't know if that answers your question or not. Might have been just rambling a little bit there on my part. Let's see. Pretty decent normal human. If you haven't watched it, I recommend Generation War. Yeah, Generation War was good. I watched that. It was really well done, and I was getting ready to say I read the book. I think I listened to the book on audio. LST. Okay, wait a minute. I must have missed something here. Oh, here we go. Brandon Fleming, have you been to LST 325? If not, I highly recommend it. Is that the one in Indiana? If it's the one in Indiana, I haven't been to it, but I'm really wanting to go. Let's see. Were you there when ladder? Okay, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm getting kind of lost here. Let me just scroll down. Say the video from ladder 3. Okay, so Camp Grant in New Milford, Illinois, World War I through World War II. I'll check into that. See, Warren Armour, I loved your episode on Andersonville. When I visited, I was so respectful because I had studied everything about it. Yeah, Andersonville. I was pretty moved by that place as well. And what was nice is we were the only ones there that day. I don't know how much attention and traffic it usually gets, but that day we had it to ourselves. And I've had several people in the Andersonville prison video. So there's a couple Andersonville videos. There's 3, I think. There's been so many people that are, I guess, kind of into paranormal investigations and things like that, that say that at one point in the video, so whenever I'm going into the gates, there's a slow motion shot going into the gates that have been reconstructed. And people say, hey, at the, I don't know what minute mark it is, like at the 5:25 mark, did anyone else see a shadow moving through? And they think that I've captured, like some paranormal activity, or I got one of the ghosts of Andersonville. It was actually my son getting into the shot by accident. But yeah, Andersonville is a great place. Let's see. Can you do any visits to internment camps in your area? Yeah, I went to Grenada. Again, that was in one of the earlier videos. So this is a question from Aaron. So if you, gosh, I can't remember what episode it is. It might be in the World War II playlist on the channel. But I have been to one of those camps, and I would like to go to a few more as well. Let's see, Vance, surprised you haven't been to the place in New Orleans. It's only a day's drive south. Yeah, I need to get to New Orleans at some point. New Orleans is another place that I'm kind of keeping in my back pocket. I think a really cool idea for a series sometime would be to go to the headwaters of the Mississippi River and then follow it all the way down to New Orleans. So there have been several places that are close to the Mississippi that I could have gone to, but I just haven't because I'm kind of saving it for that idea someday. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I see LST 225 goes to several places in the U.S. Saw it in Decatur, Alabama. Okay, there's an LST that's in Indiana, or at least that's where it's headquartered. Let's see, Cynthia Cronin. Were these civilians caught in the middle of the Gettysburg battles? Yeah, that battle went right through town on the first day. There was just like the Civil War version of urban combat in Gettysburg, and whenever I do get to that Gettysburg series, I plan on doing a few videos on the civilians' point of view and what they went through. Let's see, Colton Jeeps, any Italy trips coming up? I hope so. I'm supposed to be taking a group of students to Rome. We just need this daggum pandemic to end. But yeah, if things open up in the spring, I'm going to be going to Rome, and I also hit some World War II sites while I'm there too. So I'm pretty excited about that. See, watching from Western Australia. Awesome. See, in the distant future, would you consider any colonial history sites or museums? Massive Spanish, Dutch, French, and English influences in the U.S. Yeah, I would really like to do that. I'm wanting to kind of get into some of that older history, and there's a video. I'm looking at my notes here. That'll be a week from Sunday. That kind of gets back in like the French and Indian War period. But yeah, I do want to hit some of that more colonial stuff for sure. Let's see. Have you ever or will you ever visit the 6th floor museum in Dealey Plaza? Yeah, that's another place that I really want to get. That's that'll be an interesting one though. Because everybody has their opinion about the JFK assassination, and I've got another idea for that one. That I would like to do something that I think would be a little bit different. Let's see. Yes, but no one killed at Gettysburg. Okay, yeah. So William Bennett, I'm glad that you brought that up. I wasn't very clear whenever I talked about the Battle of Gettysburg going through the town of Gettysburg. Yeah, there was only one civilian casualty by the name of Jenny Wade. Yeah, thank you for that. It's another reason why I like doing this channel is the gaps that I have. People are really good about filling in. Sometimes they're not very nice about it though, but most of the time people are pretty cool about it. Let's see. I recommend the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. Again, that's another place that I really want to go. Whenever I go spend my month in Georgia, that's when I'll hit that museum. Let's see. Warren Armour, you would be an awesome history teacher. Average at best, but thanks. I really love history. I love that you love history. Okay, let's see. Mine Creek Battlefield in Kansas, second largest cavalry battle in the Civil War. I did not know that. Huh. Yeah, I'll check that out. Let's see. Brick forts such as Pulaski in my hometown of Savannah. I would love to get down to Savannah. And Tortuga in the Keys. I've never been to the Florida Keys, so that would be different for me. I'm not much of a beach and ocean guy, unless it's Omaha Beach. But yeah, I would love to check that out. Let's see. Jerry Whitt might think about doing a compilation of surviving World War II ships and subs like the U.S. Batfish and Muskogee, USS Alabama. Yeah, I've thought about that. I would like to show a bunch of those old battleships and subs and destroyers and things like that. The video that I did in Omaha, where I went to that minesweeper, man, I had so much fun, except for the part where I bashed my head into that piece of metal. But yeah, that I would really like to do that. I've been to the Alabama before, but it was just on vacation. That was pre YouTube channel. Let's see. What do you think? This is from EM. What do you think about the theory of 1,000 years being removed from the calendar? Apparently, there is a conspiracy that we are actually in the year 1020 and not 2020, and the Middle Ages were made up. That's a new one on me, so I can't comment on that. I've never heard that one. Let's see. Fort Knox is full of history. Yeah, that would be cool. The Patton Museum, I think that would be awesome. Lincoln Birthplace, Bourbon Trail, Louisville. Yeah, that would be cool. Let's see. Wartime productions. Which U.S. state do you find the most interesting? Oh, dang. That's a mean question. I don't know. It's not a state, but man, I really like Washington D.C. a lot. There's a whole lot packed in right there. So anybody who is visiting the U.S. from outside the country, I always say if you can go to Washington D.C. because you're going to see a lot there, and then there's just a lot in that area. Have a friend who served on the USS Alabama during World War II. Oh wow, that would be cool to talk to him. That's a part of the channel that I've really let slip, and I hate it. Is the Echoes of War series, which I've got a few like full length veterans interviews on there, and I've got a hard drive. I've got a couple hard drives here, sitting with like another 30, and there's some incredible stories. I've interviewed some women who were in the Hitler Youth. Very, very interesting stories. And I'm trying to decide if I want to continue doing, that where I post like the entire interview uncut, or if I want to kind of cut it down a little bit. Okay, let me go down here. Probably go another 5 minutes here, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see. Somebody from Brazil. I really like your videos. Thank you. Specifically the ones that you show the places where Company E has been during the war. All your videos are great. Congrats. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm not done. Not done with Easy Company. I have some plans for the future. Some of the plans that I have, there's nothing else like it on YouTube. But again, just need this pandemic to end. But yeah, I'm glad that you really enjoy them. Let's see. Let's see. How about a visit to the World War I Museum in Kansas City? Yeah, I'm going to hit that for sure. For sure. USS Nautilus is a museum in New London, Connecticut. Fort Griswold, attacked by Benedict Arnold after he became a general for the British. That I definitely need to go see then. All right, let's see here. Let's kick that person out. See, Mark Wheeler, my favorite teacher, taught world history. during my sophomore year in high school, 67 to 68, still friends. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Get those interviews up for history, please. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, if people only knew the interviews that I've got, it's crazy. I've got an interview with a guy who was the second American on the ground in Nagasaki. Um, got another guy who fought in the Philippines and was a prison guard at Sagamo Prison after the war. Played gin rummy with Tokyo Rose and met Hideki Tojo. Yeah, some of the stories I've heard are just insane. Let's see. You're a lot of ambition. Good thing you are a young man. Yeah. I have more ideas than I have time and money. Let's see. Make sure you hit the mine in Gettysburg for a much needed drink. It's a staple. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Frank Marullo, I love your channel. You should put your shows on DVD for sale. Only thing wrong is they ain't long enough. So I've had, of course, recently, the past couple videos and probably the next few are kind of hitting that 20-minute mark. There is, I've had other people say that they wish they were longer, which I don't know why. I don't. You can only look at this face for so long before you start having brain damage. But the reason that I have made them a little bit shorter is mainly for history teachers to be able to use them in class. Plus, this is not a knock on the younger generation. It just kind of is what it is. We're living in a culture that has a shorter attention span. So if teachers are going to blast out these videos for their students to see, it's better for that purpose to have them a little bit on the shorter side. So yeah, that's the main reason for that. But thank you. I'm glad that that you'd like to see more of them. Let's see. Understand concentration camps. Okay. I'm hitting some of these last comments here. Go a few more minutes. Let's see. When you do the Virginia battlefields, please do Upton's charge at Spotsylvania. Change infantry tactics. Yeah, Spotsylvania. I got a grant. It's been a long time ago. I got a grant to go out to the University of Virginia and do like a study on under author by the name of Gary Gallagher, who's pretty renowned Civil War historian. But anyway, all that to say this, we went to Spotsylvania whenever I was there, and yeah, that was a pretty cool place. Let's see. I suggest a combination of shorter video and then posting the raw interview content for preserving history. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards with those World War II videos. Again, I'm just running into not enough hours in the day between the full-time job and then doing the YouTube channel. And then I also have side jobs in video production. So like I said earlier, I do post-production work for a TV show on Pursuit Channel and things like that. And then some of the side jobs that I do are helping to fund the work that I'm doing, traveling around, to create the YouTube content. So yeah, right now I'm just running into a lack of time, but yeah, I'll get those up eventually and get them edited together. You should come visit the Irondale Furnace. It's a War of Northern Aggression furnace in Birmingham. Great piece of local history. I think I looked at that place because I came down through whenever I was going to Georgia, I came down through Montgomery and Birmingham, and I think that place was closed down. But I really wanted to see that. See, Mr. Frickin' Frackin', the entire wilderness campaign is astonishing. Yeah, man, there's some horrific stories like the woods catching on fire and the wounded being burned to death there. Yeah. May I suggest the history of Hawaii and the outright takeover by the United States? Whenever I go to Hawaii, I need to do some research. Um, but I would like to address that again. I've limited myself with the style of videos that I have, where I actually have to go somewhere and have something to show in order to tell the story. Otherwise, it's just me sitting in front of a camera telling the history, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. But if there's something in Hawaii that could serve as a vehicle, or something that I could show to tell that story, I would really like to do that. Tell about Queen Liliuokalani, I think I'm saying that right, and like the doles and everything like that. That would be really interesting, I think. See, MVP, you're doing a great job. Hope you have a good night. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Okay, I think if it's okay with everybody, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you all for dropping in and chatting. Again, I love doing this stuff. I love doing this channel because it's exciting for me to see other people who are excited about history, and it's yeah, it's really humbling. And I learned so much. Like, just, my gosh, all of the suggestions that I've had and all of the things that I've learned just tonight. I really appreciate this community. But anyway, so let me make sure there wasn't anything that I missed here. Vance Watson knew you weren't doing it on teacher salary. Yeah. I don't sleep very much. You can just ask my wife. All right. Well, hey, it was good talking to everybody, and yeah, appreciate you all more than you know. So until next time, we'll see you, and yeah, have a good holiday.